Is this everybody? I think there's a few people missing. Okay, well, my name is Mary Chow, and again, like Mr. Hartman said, thank you so much for allowing us to be here. And he's already said this multiple times, but you guys have been such a receptive audience, and we really appreciate that. We didn't necessarily anticipate that from, from every, other audiences and stuff, but you guys have been really great, and so we appreciate that. Uh-oh, my thing just went off. Okay, so what I'm going to be talking about today are the 3 moments, what we call the 3 moments in a lesson, and then I'm also going to put an emphasis on quality interactions and the power of quality interactions. So does everybody have a copy of the packet here? Okay, good. I think I had just enough. So in QTEL, they do this thing called 3 moments in a lesson, and it really helps with lesson planning as we're actually writing out our daily lesson plans. And so I said it's easy as PIE because that's the abbreviation we have. P stands for preparing the learner, and I'm sorry it's covered up in your slide here, but I stands for interacting with the text or the concept, and then finally E stands for extending understanding. So these are what we see as like the 3 key moments that every lesson, every unit, however you want to frame that, should have, right? It should kind of be building on these different things. And so you might be asking, why is it important to have this? And, one, it's organized. It provides a structure for both the teachers and the students, so the students can kind of anticipate what's going to be happening next. And, as a teacher, especially as a first-year teacher, I remember coming in and just not having a curriculum or anything, and here's a text, and you kind of just make up activities that go with it. And I would just come up with as much random stuff as I could that would possibly go with that text, and it really didn't, lead me towards anything. So with the PIE structure, it's very goal-oriented, it's intentional, and it's moving towards something. And more importantly, it's ensuring that the students are moving towards an application level, like that they're getting to a place where they're moving beyond the text, and they can reproduce something or they can apply it outside of the classroom, not just for that specific event, but it's some kind of academic knowledge or skill that they can take with them beyond. So it really gives your instruction a direction. And so really, ever since we started QTEL, this is how we think about our lesson planning. This is how we kind of plan it out. And so I'm going to kind of go through each of the moments and explain a little bit more what it is. Yes, question?
I'm just wondering if you go back a couple of slides
Sure.
and do the pie again, because I get
Yes.
really...
There you go. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I think I covered it up on here. So, yeah, P stands for preparing the learner. Yeah, it's actually it will be on the following slides too, but in case you wanted to jot it down. And it's a nice, easy acronym for us to remember, and so PIE, extending understanding. Okay, so preparing the learner, the goals in preparing a learner basically are you want to activate their prior knowledge. Like you want to help them make a connection between what they already know and then what you are going to be teaching them. And we kind of already talked about this. I think Ines addressed this question, but we want to use this time to authentically introduce key terms or concepts, kind of give them a framework or a background of a context for their learning. And so instead of pre-teaching, instead of just giving them a list of vocabulary words, we prefer to give them kind of more of a context where they can interact with those words in a meaningful way. And so, so again, preparing is just inviting them, kind of sparking that interest and helping them to connect with the learning that you're about to teach them. And it's also a way to kind of isolate the topics that you want to address, because you as a teacher, you already know the text, you know where you want them to, what you want them to get out of it, where you want them to be going. And so that's kind of a way for you to pull out those themes and then bring them to the forefront during that preparing moment. So you might be kind of like trying to think, I know you want to think of examples and stuff, so I thought maybe we could sort of brainstorm together and think about things that you have already done in your classroom that demonstrate this type of exercise or this type of activity, or things that maybe you've seen in other trainings. You could even reference Mr. Hartman's. But I thought maybe as a group, I have this chart paper over here, we can just think about what are some things that we do as teachers or that we could be doing as teachers to help activate their prior knowledge, to help them connect before we even get into the text. So if you guys want to help me here, and I'm just going to jot down some things if you guys just kind of want to yell them out, and then